A quiet but firm message is echoing from Brussels to Washington. Return our gold. This call, though delivered with diplomatic restraint, carries the weight of history and the urgency of the present moment. This isn't a casual request. It's a calculated move by European nations questioning a decades-old arrangement. Behind closed doors, officials are weighing the risks and rewards of bringing their gold home, signaling a shift in trust and priorities. Why is our national wealth still sitting in a vault thousands of miles away? The question lingers, growing louder as global tensions rise and economic alliances are tested. This demand isn't from a single nation, but a growing chorus within the EU, Germany, the Netherlands, Austria, and now Brussels, amplifying a unified stance. Their voices, once isolated, now form a powerful coalition determined to reclaim what they see as rightfully theirs. For over 70 years, the US has been the trusted custodian of much of the world's gold, a cornerstone of the post-war financial system. This arrangement was born out of necessity and trust, forged in the aftermath of global conflict. Now that trust is being tested. Recent geopolitical shifts and financial crises have made European leaders reconsider old agreements, questioning whether their gold is truly safe abroad. This is about sovereignty and control. For these nations, gold is more than a financial asset. It's a symbol of independence and national pride. In a world of economic uncertainty and shifting power, holding your own gold has become urgent. The volatility of markets and the unpredictability of international relations have only heightened the desire for direct control over national reserves. European leaders see their gold not as a relic, but as a critical asset for economic security. It's a safeguard against future crises, a foundation for stability, and a tool for asserting influence on the world stage. The request from Brussels is a declaration of financial independence. It's a statement that Europe is ready to take charge of its destiny, no longer content to rely on distant guardians. The stage is set. The US, long-standing guardian of global wealth, faces a newly assertive Europe determined to reclaim its assets. The negotiations ahead will test alliances and reshape the balance of financial power. The world is watching as this golden ultimatum unfolds, aware that the outcome could redefine the future of international finance and sovereignty for years to come. What are gold reserves and why do they matter so much in the world of finance and global politics? At their core, gold reserves are the backbone of a nation's financial security, a hidden treasure chest that countries hope they never have to open, but are glad to know is there. Think of them as a nation's ultimate emergency fund, solid, valuable, and only used in a true crisis. When disaster strikes, these reserves can be the difference between chaos and stability. Gold reserves are massive stockpiles of physical gold bars, carefully guarded and meticulously counted, held by central banks in secure vaults deep underground. You can't buy coffee with them or use them for daily shopping, but they're the ultimate safety net. Insurance for a nation's economy. Gold's rarity and durability have made it the universal symbol of wealth and stability for centuries. From ancient empires to modern economies, gold has always been trusted to hold its value. When currencies falter, inflation soars, or financial crises hit, gold is what remains. It doesn't rust, corrode, or lose its shine, making it a timeless store of value. It gives credibility and confidence to investors, other nations, and citizens alike. Knowing a country has gold reserves reassures everyone that there's real value backing up its promises. Unlike paper money, which can be printed at will and is only as strong as the government behind it, gold's value isn't tied to any government's promise or policy. Central banks use gold to protect their currency's value, to build trust in their financial system, and, in extreme cases, to stabilize entire economies when things go wrong. So, Brussels' demand for gold isn't about greed or hoarding, it's about security, independence, and being prepared for whatever the future may bring. In an unpredictable world, having your gold at home feels safer than trusting it to a foreign vault, no matter how friendly the relationship may seem. This desire for control and self-reliance is at the heart of Europe's gold showdown with the US, a silent struggle for financial sovereignty. Ultimately, it's about holding your own safety net on your own terms and ensuring your nation's future is protected no matter what storms may come. So where is Europe's gold? It's a question that surprises many people because you might expect Europe's gold to be stored somewhere on the continent itself, perhaps in the grand vaults of Paris or Berlin. But in reality, much of it lies deep beneath New York City, hidden away in the Federal Reserve Bank's legendary vault, a place shrouded in secrecy and myth. Not Fort Knox, this is a fortress 80 feet below Manhattan's bustling streets, considered one of the most secure places on Earth, protected by layers of concrete and steel. The vault's security is legendary. Massive steel doors weighing hundreds of tons, airtight seals, and round-the-clock surveillance with the latest technology. Only a select few ever see inside. Inside, gold is meticulously stored in separate compartments for each country: Germany, France, Italy, and many others, each with their own section, carefully labeled and guarded. Why send it there? The answer is simple: safety. For decades, this vault has been a sanctuary for nations' wealth. During the 20th century's devastating wars, Europe needed a safe haven for its gold, far from the chaos and destruction of conflict zones. The United States was seen as stable, powerful, and above all, trusted, a guardian for the world's treasures. Storing gold in New York also made international finance easier. Instead of shipping gold across oceans, countries could simply move bars between cages to settle huge transactions, saving time and reducing risk. But today, the distance that once meant safety now causes anxiety. In a changing world, being far from your own gold can feel unsettling. Now, Europe wants its assets closer to home, sparking a new debate about trust, security, and the future of global finance. Europe's gold crossed the Atlantic out of fear and necessity. In the 1930s, as war loomed, nations secretly shipped gold to the US to keep it out of enemy hands. Armored convoys, secret shipments, and perilous ocean crossings protected national wealth from Nazi and later Soviet threats. After WW2, the Cold War kept the gold in New York. America was the financial fortress of the West. This trust underpinned the Bretton Woods system, making the US dollar the world's reserve currency. Storing gold in New York symbolized American power and Allied trust. But times have changed. The old reasons for keeping gold abroad are fading. Why bring the gold home now? The Cold War is over, and the threat of invasion is gone. The 2008 financial crisis exposed vulnerabilities and sparked financial nationalism. Europeans now question why their core assets should remain abroad. Trust in the US isn't what it once was. Trade disputes and political tensions have created unease. There's a fear, however remote, that assets could be frozen in a crisis. Repatriating gold is the ultimate insurance policy. It's about sovereignty and control in a changing world. Europe wants to command its own financial destiny. Moving gold home is a logistical and security nightmare. Thousands of tons worth billions must cross the Atlantic in total secrecy. Every step, cataloging, armored convoys, secure air or sea transport, demands elite security. The risk of theft or attack is real. A single mistake could be catastrophic. Military planes or ships, guarded routes, and constant surveillance are essential. Even the final journey to European vaults is tense and heavily protected. The cost and complexity are enormous. That's why repatriation is rare and carefully planned. But for Europe, the risk is worth it for the promise of control. Bringing gold home is a statement of independence. The world faces a choice: repatriate Europe's gold or keep it in New York. Returning the gold would signal a shift in global finance, a move away from US dominance. It would decentralize power and challenge the dollar's prestige. Other nations like China and Russia would take note. But keeping the gold in the US means continued trust in the transatlantic alliance. Washington could offer more transparency to reassure Europe. Leaving gold abroad, however, means accepting dependency and risk. In a crisis, Europe wouldn't have immediate access to its reserves. The decision is about more than money. It's about trust, sovereignty, and the future of global power. The Golden Saga isn't over. The next move will shape the world's financial order.